Hey, this is Al from Tilton Heritage Pastures. It's the middle of February. We have a few feet of snow on the ground, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about overwintering pigs. A lot of times that can be a problem. You can see in this pen there's a page wire, just standard like sheet type fence. It stands about 4 foot tall, and you can see we have 2 feet, maybe 3 feet in some spots. Now your standard hog panel is 34 inches. Right now you can see we're at least 6 sections up here on this wire, so that gives us a good solid 24 inches. If we were 34 inches, we'd be what? So we're 24, 28, 32, 36. So that gives me about a hand width more, and my pigs can step over. Now what happens is we'll get an ice cap on top of this snow. If your pens are not maintained and you don't have the right size wire, those pigs can step right over the fence and start to walk out across that ice cap. And if you can see behind me, all the videos that you watched during the summer and the spring and the fall, this is the pasture that they're on. So if they were to step out over this fence and start to walk out onto that pasture and collapse down into the snow, then we have to figure out how to get them back and back over the fence. So we don't want to use that hog panel, we want to use a taller panel. And then so you can see that electric wire on the bottom. That wire is not attached, it's not hot. We use that as a training wire. Right now, this time of year, we do not need. They're not going to challenge this fence at all. So you could see how deep that is, and one of the most important things about just wintering pigs in any kind of cold climate where there's lots of snow, we want to make sure that we maintain the perimeter of the fence. You can see how this is dug out. You can see in the middle a little bit, there's some snow, and they'll play in it, roll in it, and that's not going to cause any problems. What we're going to do is make sure we control that perimeter, make sure the snow's not going to push our fence down. It could be a little bit loose, but they're not going to challenge. Especially with the guinea hogs, they're just not big enough to be able to do that or cause any real problems. Now they won't have access to the pasture until probably April, when we start to get a melt, so we can get the gates open and shoveled out. But you can see how we maintain the inside of the guinea hogs wintering pen. Hi. What you doing? Piggy, piggy. Hey, you want a snowball fight? Huh? What you got, candy bars? What you got, candy bars? Huh? Yeah, you got snacks. Okay, we're gonna take a walk over to the old spots and just take a look at their wintering pen, see how they're set up. They're starting to get set up, ready to farrow for the spring. And come on, let's take a walk. So we're out with the old spots. And as you can see, they still have their hot wire up and out on their perimeter. You'll see as we get snow, now that bottom wire is not connected. It's only there. It's active in the spring. In the summer when they're out on pasture, they'll have usually 2 wires. You can get away with 1 wire. And we usually do, but sometimes when you have smaller pigs in the pens, we like to have 2 wires. And also we've had some pretty interesting escapes where we had one boar, he would lay on his side and do kind of a sideways shuffle and get right underneath of a single wire. Craziest thing. But they'll always try to go under the wire, so as long as that wire is maintained and they have a visual, they've been trained since they were piglets. They know what a hot wire is. When they see it, they just leave it alone. They know that's my boundary. I don't go past it. So what we do in the wintertime, we'll maintain that top wire. And of course, all our grounds are in. And there's some debate, you know, does the wire work? Trust me, if you touch that wire, it's going to get you. As you're shoveling it out, if you have a metal shovel and you lean against that wire, you're going to feel it through that shovel. So the wire is active on our farm. It works. We have all our ground rods set in, and they're already set in earlier in the year, so we don't have to really worry too much about that. And the fence is active, the fence is hot, and it does work. And you'll see we'll maintain the path a little bit wider on the inside. That way if the pigs want to come out and stretch their legs, they can come out and walk, and they can get all the way around. Now, we just had snowstorm for a couple of days, and this was just shoveled out. You can see if you come on over down here, you can see the height of that snow. They're not going to want to venture out into, you know, this snow over here that's pretty much almost, you know, close to waist deep. In here, they have a path to get around the perimeter. There's some in the middle. They will walk right through that. It may take them some time to do that. We'll get some thaws, some more snow. When we muck out the stalls, like we mucked out today, you'll see we'll just take those piles and throw them out onto the pen. Springtime, that'll just dissipate down into the ground. So, as you can see, we'll keep that perimeter open. We have some snow. We have a couple pens over here that aren't finished yet, that will be for next year as we expand. But for right now, this is what we've done for the last few years, is just keep this area clear around the perimeter of the electric fence. The pigs can wander or just stretch their legs and get around. They have their pens. Right now their pens are not separated, and we don't use hog panel. Hog panel again is only 34 inches tall. It's not tall enough. You can see this cattle panel, it's a little bit taller. There is some snow buildup. You can get, I don't know, probably 6 inches to a foot of ice buildup down on the bottom. So where I'm standing right now, I'm probably 6 inches to a foot higher above where this pen would be in the spring. It would be much lower. So as the winter goes on, that buildup keeps increasing and the height of the fence actually starts decreasing, and you can run into problems where hog panel, which would be right down here where my hand is, where those pigs could potentially step over and get into that, and now they're stuck and we run into some real problems. Overwintering pigs in a cold climate is possible. It's definitely doable, but you need to prepare. You need to make sure that you have in mind what it's going to be like in the middle of the winter, because spring to winter is drastically different. The landscape, as you can see, we'll show you some video and some photos of this area in the spring. Drastically different. Drastically different. Elevations are different. You can see the back of that hog. He's standing right now. He's standing up to about here. Okay. So preparation is the key to success in wintering pigs.